Okay, greetings YouTube, and thanks for tuning in to Wild Irish Bushcraft and Survival. I'm Chuck, your host. Okay, now today we're going to be reviewing a real treat for us, a beauty in of itself. And apparently none of you know me that well to understand sarcasm. Alright, I've always said, no, my premise is based on survival on the cheap and bushcraft on a budget. That means I'm trying to find the cheapest but most effective tools to use in our bushcraft or survival situations. Because again, I really had to, not a lot of us can afford tops to Homa or a Tom Brown tracker or things like that, though they're really good, and if I could get one, I'd be all over it. So we have to find something that will cut the mustard but not break the bank. So I try to look for the best solutions in our search, and today my search has come across this, the Tech Survival Bowie. Now we're going to call it that, only because this knife has gone through several identifications, as it were. Originally, this is a takeoff on the United Cutlery's Sniper Bowie. It used to have a little insignia here, SOA, which I think stands for Snipers of America, I don't know, and one shot, one kill. And of course it would be a sniper Bowie because, you know, when you're sitting up there in your loft with your high-powered rifle, the first thing in the mind of the sniper is, my goodness, I wish I had a sharp knife. Okay, all that put aside, let's just review the knife itself. And so again, this is going through a lot of genesis. Now, today we're looking at it for survival purpose and bushcraft. Review the knife below. All right. Again, let me read this. I want to be clear on this. It is handcrafted in China and USA design, made of 440 stainless. Now, 440 is not a bad steel. There's a lot of blades made of 440. It does not make it a cheap steel. It's all right. I mean, it's not high carbon, but it will do the job. All right. It's a full tang with a rat tail tang and the pommel at the end, which is a screw and funnel. The hilt itself is not bad. It will stop the hand from going forward, so it's good there. A nice blade design with a good weight to it, as well as a real, oddly enough, of all the things it has this really well-made double-edged sword, or double saw. It's not bad, honestly. Now, the sharpness, it comes right out of the box, or package, whatever you want to call it, real sharp, real sharp. I'll have to give you that. The handle itself, my God, it's toy quality plastic, right? Is it top rate? Not by any stretch of the imagination, no. But like I said, if you were so inclined, you could remove the handle and customize it to your own desire if you were to go that far. Now again, this might be something to put in your toolbox to abuse. Now I got this for a song. I mean, cheap as cheap can be, $9.99 plus tax. Okay, normally it goes for like $24 if you want to go the high end of it. Alright, so what you're going to get for your money is not a great deal, but again, that does not mean that the price quote delineates from the quality. Okay, so now, essentially, I mean, this is a really unique and a really good looking blade. I mean, aesthetically, it's really nice looking. All right, so but we have to figure out, will it do what it needs to be done? Will it baton? I got to tell you right now, all right, I have my serious doubts just because of the saw and the choice here. I don't think it'll baton well, but we'll find out. But chop wise, finite work, feather stick and things like that, we'll find out in a moment. But first, let's look at the sheath. Okay. The sheath itself is quite frankly, a toy quality plastic. Now I want to be clear on this now. It's not a high impact polymer, not Kydex. No, it's plastic. folks. It's plastic. And, I mean, here's the problem. It's one of those deals where you have to put it in just right so that it's flush, okay? Now, no, there are a couple of blades like this. A couple of the shade knives are like that too. You got to put it in just right or it won't go. Is it quiet? No, not even close. I could probably use this in the percussion section of my band if I wanted to play, take place of maracas. Okay, it sort of stays in there. Not too bad. It will stay in there. You have the little holes here so you can make, put some leg straps on it to carry it like a diving knife if you wanted to. Again, stainless steel, plastic handle, won't really do anything to it being wet. The belt loop and hold itself is a bit of interest in its own right. Okay, the belt loop itself and the strap is here is really what comes to note here. All right. Now I'm a man who likes a challenge. When you're in the survival situation, that is a challenge. Man against nature, man against the elements, but certainly not man against his bed loop. Okay, I mean, this is slightly ridiculous. It's one of these deals where you have to, I don't know if you can see that well here, I hope you can. You go through here and you strap it here. This is a lot of fun doing this one-handed, okay? That alone is interesting. And then basically it has the same application, I guess you call it, with the belt loop. Here it goes through here like so. I hope you can see this. And out here like that. And that's what goes to your belt loop. Bingo, dango, boingo, let's hope it doesn't fall off the belt. All right. No, it's not. Again, like I said in the past too, if you're relying on the sheath alone for your survival and all that stuff, you're in trouble. I mean, nobody ever goes, stand back, I have a sheath. So, is it laughable? Yeah, considerably. But like I said, we're not. Oh, but you can use it as a musical instrument if you want. But now let's take a look at the blade now. Okay, let's see if this guy can do stuff that really required, for our bushcraft or survival needs. So let's see here. What about the finite work, feather sticking, things like that? Well, let's see here. We got ourselves a bit of a, and again, it comes out of the box nice and sharp. So it's gonna cut, all right, and you can get some good work down there. But here's the problem: if you're gonna try to get some finite work here, those blades there, those saws, is going to be a little bit of a problem. Now, can you get some feathers sticking? I don't know if you can see that, but we're working on this. And again, this is really dry, seasoned wood, so this is not the best, test condition. But if you're trying to get a little bit of feather sticking or some fine work here, yeah, it'll work a little bit, all right? It'll work the fine work a bit. Right? Again, not the best conditions, but for things like trying to get a number 7 notch or things like that, that might be a bit of a work because of that, the saw thing, because of the saw itself. Speaking of the saw, though, let's take a gander here. Does it work? I hope you can see this. I really do, because it's going to really do a lot of work. I can't believe I'm doing this, but we'll put it on here. And as you see, when it's going in, I hope you can see that. When going in, all right, it catches a bit, but it will get in there. I mean, it will do that. I mean, you can saw some branches and things like that. Well, it's all the way through. It's a bit of a fight. But if you look at that, I mean, that's just a little bit of pull there. So, yeah, will it saw? The saw does work. I'll have to give it that. And it should, because it hurt like hell trying to do some fine work with that. So it'll whittle. It'll make your number 7 notches. It'll do a bit of feather sticking if you have the right conditions and all. All right. So you got that. Will it chop? Well, before we do whether it'll chop, let's see if it'll baton. Again, like I said, I'm not keen about this because of the fact that, let's face it, though that's going to tear, that saw blade is going to really knock the shit out of it. But let's give it a quick run here. We'll try it a little bit with just the edge here like this. Okay? And being that it's, okay, Okay, it does a little batoning. Now this is not, this is just a small piece. Will it go through a big log? Hard to say. I don't have one with me, but we got this going on, and it does a bit of the batoning, and it's not doing anything to the, spine. It's not doing anything to the blade itself. So, no, okay. It'll baton a bit. It'll chew the shit out of your thing, but it will still baton. We see that. Okay, great. It's gonna do a little bit to the whatever coating that might be. Honestly, I'm not sure what it is. I sure know it ain't titanium, and I know it ain't a powder covering. But again, like I said, we're here to find out whether it'll pass muster, and you're actually going to beat up your knife anyways. All right, so. If it's doing something to the covering, so be it. That's supposed to happen. Okay, now let's see if it'll chop now. Hopefully we get this. Okay, and that's really what we're trying to determine here is, will it chop? Now, the weight of this blade is not terrible. It's not. I mean, you can see. I mean, look at that. I hope you can see this. I might have to retape this. I hope I don't. But it is really biting into that wood. It's really biting into it nicely, right? So it's got it's got some good chopping ability because of the weight itself. I don't know the exact weight on this. This is not one of those knives where you do a great deal of cut. I gotta tell you, it's not doing a bad job of cutting in there, and the blade's still solid, the handle's still solid, and then look at that. I mean, it's just biting in there really, really well. I mean, it's doing a good job of this sucker. It's just biting right in there. I mean, for the price, it's surprisingly good. Now, again, you're overlooking the cheesy little rubber handle, plastic handle, which, let's face it, if it gets wet, might be a problem. I'm not going to find out the hard way. But if you've got a strong enough grip, now, by the way, it did come with a lanyard. Okay, it did come with a lanyard. And by a lanyard, I mean it had an olive drab piece of shoestring on there, so which was more of a hindrance. So I removed it, but it does come with a lanyard. So, and what I just said, no, the genesis that it had now was. You'll forgive me. I'm not in the woods. Apparently, I've got an airport nearby, and apparently a raceway as well. So. Anyways, the genesis it had was, again, the SOA, one shot, one kill, survival Bowie, or sniper Bowie, as well as the M48 tactical Bowie, now with Bud K, and of course the M-Tech. We'll call it survival Bowie in this one. So, the number of genesis that it has come with is fine, but the blade itself, I can't complain about it. Would I rely on it if in a pinch? Yeah, I think you could rely on it. Now, this is just a touch of the top, but I mean, just the chopping alone. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, there are other blades that I've had, more expensive ones, that don't do as good don't bite in as well. So this is pretty damn impressive in of itself, and what will be more impressive if I don't cut my own fingers off. But I mean, that alone is kind of impressive for a blade that cost me $9.99. So, all right, will it pass muster as far as the handle goes? Hell no. Is it something I would say, oh well, this is the one that'll get you to the tightest areas of all? It might not. All right. Is the Sheath going to win awards? Well, maybe for the lousiest sheath in the world, maybe, but for as far as, top rate, no bloody way in the world. It's not quiet whatsoever, so tactical-wise, it'll be as tactical as, say, like a marching band. But, in all, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to denounce this, I'll say that much. Apparently, it's also really hard to keep it in my hand. But it's really hard to deride it, because of the things it's been able to do just now. I have to say, again, as I said before, I'm basing my findings on survival on the cheap, bushcraft on a budget. If you're looking for a knife that's not going to break your bank, will still probably do a good job, I got to tell you, this might do it. again, modify the blade if you like. Cover it, do some rubber covering, if you will. I mean, you could do that. Maybe wrap some paracord around it, make it a bit stronger. Right now, just doing what I was doing here, it wasn't moving, it wasn't flying. It's nice, the nice swell in the handle, so it does stay nicely in as much as it's a plastic handle. Nothing, I mean, again, toy quality plastic. But overlooking those things, will it pass muster? Will it get you out of a tight situation? I can't say it won't. So I would give it a bit. On a scale of 1 to 10, would I give it a 10? Not on your line. I have to say I'll give it a good maybe a 6.5, maybe a 7. Right? Just because basing it on just the chopping ability, on basing it on the cotton and the batoning. So for those alone, I'll give it a 6.5, maybe a 7. If you like what I'm saying, by all means, do us a favour now. Hit the like button and give it a like. Now, hey, look at that now. I gotta tell you, it's full of surprises, this thing. But let's see now. And if, like I said, if you're interested in it, you could find these at most any sporting goods store, Big 5. You can get it at Bud K. It's near the M48 Tactical Bowie, or the where United Cutlery is Sniper Bowie. So you could find these in most places, and again, fairly cheap. So again, for Wild Irish Bushcraft and Survival, I'm Chuck. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll talk to you later. Sláinte.